guys, welcome back to the She Who Leads podcast. And today I brought a topic that I think is a headache. I know it's a headache for most of my friends who have a business or who started a business or started to start a business. Yeah. And it is the topic of niching down. And I know how much headache this caused me with my businesses, especially with the first one. And I know I still see how much this is a headache for people who are starting to start a business, because everyone is talking about it and everyone is emphasizing how important it is that you have a niche and that you have the right niche and that you are specific enough but not too specific and not too specific. And if you don't have a niche, then you're not talking to anyone, you're talking to everyone, like la 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 la, like, you know what I'm thinking about, you know what I'm talking about. And what I want to help you with in this podcast episode is basically helping you starting to find that niche, because I don't know, I won't doubt it and I won't contradict it that it's much easier to talk about things when you are more clear on who and how you are helping. But I think the way people try to do this and the way people try to force themselves to do this is not the way. It just creates more headache, it creates more frustration, and it creates more doubt in the business, which you already have enough doubt on your own. Like, you don't need to add to that. I know I had a lot of doubt, and I still have a lot of doubt in my business still every single day. So I don't really try, I really try hard not to add onto it with things that can be done easier in a much more simple version. So this episode is meant to help you with that, meant to help you with get a better view on what does a good niche look like, what is actually, like, should you think about a niche first of all, finding a niche and everything, and just like how you get started with it. And I really mean to give you a peace of mind with this podcast episode, because yeah, it just, the headache and the fear and the angst and the doubt that goes into this and the energy that goes into finding this niche, like super wanting to find it, it's, if you else spend it on other things that are actually moving the needle along much more, it will help your business so much better. Like, there are things that when you focus on those, and I'm not saying that niching, finding who you are serving is not important. What I'm saying is the amount of anxiety and frustration and force that goes into finding that perfect niche is a lot of time wasted and could be go to other places where it would move the needle much further along with the business. So with that, let's start first with what doesn't matter with a niche. I just really want to quickly clear that, because I still see a lot of people focusing on, when they're trying to find their niche, they're focusing on things that at the end doesn't really matter that much. Things like, what is their age range, or what is the location that they are in? Well, if you're doing a brick and mortar business, obviously it means that location matters. But online, not so much. Or how much money they are making, or I don't know, what are their hobbies or interests and stuff like that. And I used to believe that these are super important. I used to believe that these are the things that I should know about my audience, but actually it's not. it really is not what you should be starting with, because first of all, you can never be sure of those things unless you have like a direct I don't know, a direct line to their lives, or I don't know, spying on them, or looking at their bank accounts or whatever, which I hope you're not doing. But jokes aside, you won't be ever sure, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And I will go into why, but it really is not. So what makes a good niche? I think that is the very important thing that we need to clarify. And there are three things that I believe, I firmly believe, that make a good niche. And the first one, I will go through, how is it better? I am going through them one by one. I don't know why. So the first one is you love working with them. And that is crucial. And it's a reason I started with this. It's again, it's not about money, it's not about their age, it's not about, I don't know, their willingness to buy. Obviously that's all incorporated, but the most important thing that will make or break your audience is that you love working with them. Because when you love working with them, you will want to do this business even when you have extremely hard days, even when you feel like you want to give up, even when you feel like it doesn't worth it, it's just too hard, it's too much doubt, it's too much uncertainty, which there will be days like this. If you are in the business already, if you're a business owner already, you know this. If you are starting a business, be prepared, it's not going away, and there will be days, weeks, even months when it feel like it's a dead end thing that you are building here and nothing is working. And on those times, in those time frames, the thing that helps me keep going were the people who I really loved working with. Like the one-on-one sessions I had with my clients on the weeks that I felt like whatever I try, whatever I do, nothing is working, and every energy that I put in is just a waste of energy. In those moments, the one-on-one sessions with my clients, who I actually, like, I have my system of vetting my clients before I am working with anyone. It is like to make sure that they are a high match client. But because of that, and because of what I programmed into my creator field, I really love working with the people who I work with right now. And that 1 hour, sometimes 1.5 hour session gives me so much energy. And I just really, even if I go into a session that I don't have the energy, by the end of it, I am filled with energy. Like, I am literally filled with more energy than when I started, because I really love, first of all, love what I do, but that should be a given when you are building a soul pool business. And I really love the people who I work with, because I know the type of person who I love to work with. And this is what it will help you with. You will, when you love people, it would mean that actually you know the type of people who you love working with. So you start to have that list of kind of like non-negotiables that you need to have with clients, that you kind of do already when you are in the dating field and are trying to meet your match, right? Your soul match. It is supposed to be the same with clients, with soul match clients. You should know your non-negotiables. You should know who you love to work with and who you don't love to work with. Like, what are the, and I will help you with this. Like, there are questions coming that you can use to figure this out. Like, that is the next section of this podcast. But that should be one of your main goals when you are finding a niche, when you are trying to find a niche, not the money that they make, but what it's like to work with them. What is really like to work with them. If you love working with them, you will do the work. You will do the work when it's good. You will do the work when it's bad. And that will make you successful, because people who quit, they quit because they hate what they are doing. You won't quit ever because you love what you are doing. That's one of the keys to success. Okay, the second thing that makes a good niche is that they inspire you. And that seems like off topic, right? Like, why should clients or people who I work with, oh my God, not learners, but students, if you're doing courses, or members of my membership, like, inspire me? And they should. They really, really should, because if they don't inspire you, that would mean that you will feel like there's just no room for growth here. And inspiration can come in a lot of ways. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, they should be like far ahead from me to be able to inspire me. It's more of a, oh, okay, so they have interesting questions, right? So maybe one of your important things with your community or with your niche is, oh, I want them to ask questions. I want them to be able to, I don't know, I want them to be open about what they are going through. It will differ from industry to industry, to service, but in one way or the other, they should inspire you to come up with new content, to teach new things, to come up with new tools. Like, my clients inspire me so much. A lot of the content I create on my podcast or in my emails is actually things that we talk about, or questions that they ask me in my coachings that I can actually use to create podcast episodes about, because they're so super inspiring. They ask me the most amazing questions. So for me, one of the things with my clients, one of the things that I am looking for when I am defining my niche is, I want curious people. I want people who follow their curiosity and are not afraid to ask questions. That's super important for me in a niche. And maybe it's not important for you, because maybe in your business it's somehow else. But in some way or form, I think inspiration should be in the niche. And again, one way or form, because that's what will make you feel like, oh, there's a lot of growth potential here. There's a lot of new ways I can help them. There's a lot of new ways I can explain things that I thought I already explained all the ways that I can do this, but actually no, because this person had a question and I never looked at it with that angle. So I think it's a very, very important thing and makes a very good niche when they inspire you. And the third one is that you genuinely believe you can help them. You truly, genuinely can believe that you can help them get to where they want to go. And that is a very important piece. And it comes from a multiple different pieces, but what it basically means, and how I want you to think about this, is the best niche for you is the niche that you feel like, oh, okay, I kind of know what they are going through. I kind of know because I already went through it myself. Maybe not fully, maybe I don't have the full solution yet, but I have pieces of it and I am like a few steps ahead of them. So I actually know how they can shift the things that they are in. And there are a few exceptions, I think, when we can help like where people can help others without going through the things themselves. But I am definitely built this way, and in my experience with a lot of clients, I see that they are built in the same way. We feel so much more authentic with things that we experience for ourselves and things that we figure out for ourselves. Or it's not even just like you had to figure it out from scratch on your own, but like you use different tools, you tested different methods, and then you have like an understanding of how these all work. And then you have a new understanding of, oh, okay, how I can help people with the knowledge, the experience that I had. So it's a very, very important piece with niche. And I had this mistake. I made this mistake with my previous business, with my marketing business, trying to focus on niches where I didn't really had the experience, where I didn't really like, I wanted to help people build massive email lists, or I wanted to help people, I don't know, whatever the craze was at that point. But I didn't really feel authentic, because, well, I didn't build like 100,000 email list at that point, so it didn't feel authentic, right? I didn't feel credible with that. And then again, this, if you don't feel that, this can come from a self-image imbalance. So maybe you actually have the credentials and the experience to be able to help people, but you don't feel like it because you have a self-image imbalance, which again, it's a different thing to tackle. But going back to the niche part, the best thing that you can do for yourself is see, okay, what are the things that I solved fully or partially in my life, and how can I help people with that? How can I help just like one other person with that? And that can be a road to a niche. It doesn't have to be a full solution. I really, really want to emphasize that, because that's also where people get stuck. Is they feel like, oh, so I have to have a full blown solution. I can only help, I don't know, coaches if I already have like a full blown coaching institute built, which is not true. You only need to be ahead a few steps of people to be able to help them, and you actually can help much better if you're only a few steps ahead, because you're so much closer to their struggle and so much closer to the challenges that they have. You will be much more relatable. They will trust you much, much, much more. And again, it will feel so much more doable that you are teaching than, I don't know, someone who is 10 years ahead of them. It feels a little bit out of reach, and maybe people don't start because it feels like, oh, I don't have 10 years to do that. And irony is, a lot of the times it doesn't take 10 years. What took you 10 years, it won't take them 10 years. It will take them like, I don't know, 1-2 years tops to build the same, because you already have the tools, you already have the methods, and they can just like plug it into their lives. But it doesn't feel like that, and that can stop them from signing up. So it is a good thing. It is a good thing that you don't have the full solution. That's what I want to tell you this. But you really have to believe, like you have to believe that you can genuinely help them. And half of that goes into the self-image, another half goes into knowing what you helped yourself clear, right? Okay, so let's go on to the how. What are the questions that you can start with to figure out, okay, so who, like, if I take into consideration these 3 factors of what makes a good niche, what are the questions I can ask myself that if I answer over time, and I will explain this, what this means, it will help me get clear on who I serve the best, who and how I serve the best, because I think that's also a way to get to a niche. I think when people think about niches, they think about the who, like who can I serve? But sometimes it's the what. Like, what can I help with? What can I help with people? Because the what can be so strong that the who can be very general. And I'm clarifying this because it needs clarification. So, for example, in my business, and I will talk about my other business now, my Hungarian business now, where I mainly help people help find their soul pull, so find their purpose in life. And then if they want, they can build a business with that. But that is my main goal. That is my main niche. So my niche in my business there is how I like me helping people find their soul pull. That's the niche. I am not specifying the age, I am not specifying the gender, I am not specifying anything else with this. The only thing I am specifying, if you want to work with me, we work on finding your soul purpose. We find your soul pull. And then we see where that brings us from that when you have the soul pull. That's the niche. So in this sense, my niche is not the who I help. I help people. I have clients over 50. I have clients in their 20s. I have men. I have women. I have everyone. I even had, I think my oldest client was like 60 plus. So it doesn't really matter. And my youngest was like 20 something, like 20 few. So in this sense, like specifying with age wouldn't really matter, because you could just, in my sense, you could just never really know when the soul is ready to find its purpose and step into its purpose. For some people, it's in their 50s. For some people, it's in their 20s. It depends on the lifetime that they are. It depends on the timeline that they are in. It depends on the decisions that they made when they had like a fork in the road. Like, it just so much goes into that. But the niche is coming from the what. What am I doing, right? So I want you to think, broaden your horizons when you are thinking about a niche, and not just thinking about, oh, okay, so who can be the perfect person for me? Maybe what can be the perfect thing? What can be the thing? I don't even want to use the word perfect. What can be the thing that I can bring as a solution into this world, which could be easily a niche in itself. A niche in itself. Now, back to the questions. And I already gave away a question. So one of the questions that you can ask yourself when you are thinking about your niche: what is the unique thing that I am bringing as a solution into this world? Or what can be the unique things? And again, it's not that you're looking for one perfect answer here. You are looking for different answers you can investigate, right? Finding a niche is not about you sitting down one day, spending 2 hours in front of a computer or journaling in your journal, and then having a full-blown picture of your niche. It doesn't work like that. And I will go into what I mean by this shortly, like how you should think about this. But let go of the expectation of, oh, okay, I'm answering, I don't know, 5 questions and then I know what my niche is. It doesn't work like that. I will tell you how this works in a minute. But going to the next question. So the next question that you can ask yourself is, who really needs you, right? Who really needs you? And that will help you. And again, you can phrase this, and I'm already like changing my own questions, see? But you can ask this either, okay, who really needs you, or what people really need from you, right? It will kind of bring you to the same result. This question is basically about starting to list all the things that you bring into the table, right? Like, what are basically the problems? What are basically the things that you help people with, right? Like, the who really needs you I don't want you to think about, oh, I don't know, moms in their 40s who have 2 kids. Yes, that's amazing. If that's somehow super relevant, that's amazing. But I want you more to think about, okay, so the person who needs me, what is in their life right now? Why they need me? What is it that they want or that they struggle with that I can help with? This is what I want you to think when I think, okay, who really needs me? Someone who struggles to work out. Someone who wants to have less stress in their lives. That's someone who needs you. And then you can go obviously deeper, and I have a lot of more questions for that. Not a lot, a few questions for that. But this is what I want you, how I want you to think about. It's not that I will looking for right now. The first, it's the beginning of the journey. Again, I want to emphasize this super much, like very, very much. It's not your goal to figure out your niche in one sitting. Okay, so think about who really needs you and what they really need you for. Okay, the next question is, who would love working with you? Who would really love, who would really enjoy working with you? And this question helps you a little bit like think about, okay, who this person is. Who this person is in the sense of what they want to know, what they want to learn, where they are in their own journey, right? Like, I don't know, are they spiritual? Are they not spiritual? What they know about this topic? Or if in the health sector, like how much deep in their health journey are they? Like maybe they're just beginning, or maybe they tried everything and they are fed up with the whole thing and they want just something that really works. Like, who would really love working with you? And again, like that kind of piggybacks on the other question, who would you really love working with? And those two should go hand in hand. Those two should complement each other, because the people who you love to work with should love working with you. So maybe, I don't know, like, see, okay, again, just think about all the qualities that they have. Think about all the qualities in a sense of where are they in their own development journey, in whatever way. Who could learn the most from you? Who would enjoy your time spent together the most? That's super important. Next question. Who would you happily hear from daily? That's a very good question. And I didn't ask this for myself for a long time. And then I started to work with people who I didn't really like to talk to, especially daily. You know, those type of clients. And again, no offense to them, that's definitely a reflection to me. But it's like, you know, the clients who just like, when you see their name in the email list, it's just like, oh no, what do they want again? So getting clear on who would you really love to ask you questions daily will help you create that list of non-negotiables that your clients must have. And again, you can see the theme here. We are not trying to figure out their income status or whatever, because I really firmly believe that if you have a solution and people have the problem, they will make the way, they will find a way to pay for your solution. If you're a match, and you are a match with a lot of possible people, they will find a way to make the money. With all my mentors I had, and I still have, they were way out of my price range. They are way out of my price range when I signed up for them. Even like with one specific mentor, I remember that I only had money for the first installment of the payment plan when I signed up. I only had one. I only had the first installment, and I'm like, I really, really, really want to do this. I really feel like I need to learn from this person, and I only have the first installment. And the worst thing that will happen that I am like canceling the whole thing from the second installment, because I won't have the money to continue, but at least I will have her for a month. And I will get out of the 1 month as much as I can. And I made the commitment and I made the investment, and actually the money came in. That's the story for a whole different podcast, like how this works. But I made the way, even though, and I was specifically in a mindset, like I remember I was specifically in a headspace when I've been having a lot of money reflections, meaning that I felt like I really, really, really didn't know how I will make money. I didn't trust in myself to be able to get in the money that I wanted. I didn't had the programs that I have right now in my other business. And okay, it felt so, everything so felt so random of how money is coming in, and committing to something that was way out of my price range at that point, and committing it to 6 months, because it was a 6 month installment. 6 months, maybe 4, whatever. It was a long term, like 4 6 months, and I only had money for the first installment. And I still made it work. Like I just made a plan in my hand, like, I don't know, like worst things worst, I cancel, or I ask for a loan, or I don't know, like I will figure it out. I will make that money no matter what, but I really, really want this solution. So I really want you to get into that mindset that people who are meant to have your solution and they are ready to work with you, they will make you happen. They will I don't know, make savings ahead. They will ask for friends for money. They will take on loans. They will take on extra job, like whatever it takes. They will make the way for the money to come in to them. That's not your job to worry about. Your job is to worry about not worry about, to take radical responsibility for yourself. And I actually talked about this in my previous podcast episode, how that helps and what that means. But it's really, that is your main job. And when you do that, also with your niche, when you flip the script and start to look at your niche, okay, so how would my niche fulfill me the best? That would mean that, oh, okay, you get your fulfillment, you can even give more. You can even give from a much higher frequency, which will mean that your audience, your niche will get so much more, and they will be so much happier, and they will be dying to work with you. So much better. So it's a very different way of thinking about niches, and I know it's a new way, so let it sink in. But I want you to think about, who would you happily hear from daily? Another version of this is, who would inspire you rather than irritate you if you met with them daily? And it is coming from the same place like the previous question. It's a bit uh, more intense, like, meeting someone daily. Like, just imagine having someone, like talking to someone like 5 times a week, even just online. Like, who is that person, and what are her traits or his traits? What are their traits? What is it about them that inspires you, that it makes you feel good, like you are excited to work with them? And that is your niche. That is the people you love to work. Maybe they are curious, maybe they have a specific knowledge, maybe they went through a specific experience, or maybe you don't have to over explain yourself to them all the time, or maybe they are super open to what you have to tell, what you are telling them, or the tools that you're teaching, or the processes that you're teaching. Or it can be anything that makes you excited. um, have those in your list. Those will help you figure out your niche. Okay, the next question is, which type of client brings you the most energy and inspiration? And I already touched on this. I think for me, this is a non-negotiable. Like, I really want my clients to fill me up, to give me more energy. Like, not the clients themselves, but the interaction with the clients. And for that, I have my specific factors. You should have your own. That again will help you just like purify a bit who is the type of person who can help you, who you can help the best, who is the type of person, what are they interested in, what is their background, again, not age wise, gender wise, financially, but more like, oh, okay, they know this, they learned about this, they don't know this, they never heard about this, like maybe something it's important to you, like maybe you want to introduce them to a topic, and that is something that inspires you and gives you energy, like teaching people new things that they never knew about existed, right? Like that can be your thing. And that will actually tell you that, oh, okay, so I actually want people who are super newbies to this area, like they never heard of it, like maybe they don't even know that this exists, right? Like that is a very important piece of information about your niche, right? Niching down comes down to finding the puzzle pieces to the people you can serve the best. It's not about, you can call it a profile. Yeah, we can create a profile. I like to think of them as puzzle pieces of information that you can put together. At the end, it gives you like a fuller picture of, oh, okay, so this is the person who I can help the most. And the last question here is, who would value your service the most? Which you would think comes to money, like who would pay the most for your services. But again, I don't want you to think about money here, because like I told you, people will make it work. If they really want your solution, they will make it work, they will invest. Value means that who could take out the most value from your teachings, from your services, from your products. And maybe usually that goes down to, okay, so what is the exact stage or emotional state or mental state, or I don't know, different emotional imbalances, if you are into that. So I am thinking with my own industry, or not industry, like my own business. Like, what is the mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual state that they are in, where you can provide them the most value. So maybe they are in their spiritual awakening right now and they don't know what the heck is happening and they want help with that. Or maybe they are ready to teach some kind of emotional pattern that they are struggling with, and they are ready to be more balanced emotionally. Or maybe they are ready to, I don't know, very simple, eat healthier, find the foods that are healthy but also fun, right? It can be 1,000 different things. Like, who do you provide value is basically you helping you figure out the moment in their life where you can like come in and tell them, like, and show them, see, this is what you want, this is the solution, I can help you with that, right? This is a super important question. From all the questions I told you, all the 7 questions, I think this is the most valuable. But it really, like, to get all the pieces of the puzzle, answering all the questions is important, is essential, is crucial. One question won't help you figure out who you are serving the best. Okay, 3 important things that I want to mention here with, again, niching, and I already touched on a few of them. One is that doubt will be present. So please don't expect yourself to just like get to a point in your life where you're like, oh, I exactly know who I serve, and I have no ounce of doubt of that who I serve. You will have periods of this, but as you change, who you think you can help best will change. And whenever something new you figure out about yourself, whenever something new tool you come up with, whether something, however your soul pool evolves, your niche will evolve with that. So when you're looking for an audience where you have a zero doubt if they are the right for you, and again, especially in the beginning. So when you are in the business and you had some kind of experience with audiences and how you connect with them, this can fade. This can fade a lot. I'm not sure if it goes away ever, but it fades a lot. I think it goes away when you get super, super rooted into your soul pool, like your mission, how you are here to help. Like that, for me, that's what did the trick, basically. But in the beginning, it's just you have to be able to move through the doubt. You have to be able to move with a niche, even if you're not 100% sure that that is your niche, because how you will figure out if those are people you want to work with, if you start working with them. If you start, even, I don't know, if you're a coach, if you are a healer, start to do free sessions, start to see, oh, do I like working with, I don't know, XYZ? Do I like working with people like that? And then you will see for yourself, because imagining things in our head is super, super different than experiencing them a lot of the times. So moving through the doubt, even when you, I don't know, just like 50% sure if this can be your audience, go with that. Test, try, play, connect with people, see what they are in, see how you like those. Get these questions, have these questions with you, and just like go through, oh, okay, so did this person inspire me or not? Did I like working? Would I like if this person calls me every single day? Oh no, okay, that's interesting. Let's see if another, like, why again, and ask why wouldn't I like that? Oh, because they, I don't know, ask the same questions. I feel like they are not ready to move on because XYZ. Like, do the investigative work when you are experimenting, and that's what will help you again subside the doubt much more. But it only comes when you go out and try things and try different, I don't know, content, messaging, whatever. It can only come from that. The next thing is your audience can shift. And again, that's, I see a lot. It comes kind of from the doubt phase, a doubt thing, that we want certainty. The ego wants certainty so much. It would do anything for it. And it's not different with niches, with the audience, right? We want an audience that will be our audience for the rest of eternity, and it will never change, and you'll always know what they want and everything. But first of all, people change. So even if you have the same audience, the people in that audience will change because people change. So even just in itself, that contradicts this expectation of I will have the same audience, because you won't ever. Even if the same exact people stay in your audience, a year from now they will be different people because they change. Even if they don't plan to change, they will change. So you won't have the same audience. Also, as you shift, as you experience more and more from your soul pool, as you fulfill more and more in your soul pool, this is what we are here for, and you build more and more in your business, you get back more and more to your core self, you are shifting, you are changing, which means that you are attracting different people. Maybe before you attracted more the beginners, 5 years in you attract more people who are, I don't know, more spiritual or more advanced in a topic. So, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What I want you to get from this is be open to change, and don't feel like you have to have the exact same audience. Just like be super open and be aware of, oh, okay, so now I am serving these people. I love them. I love working with them. And then a year from now, like just like not even a year from that, just like every now and then, just like checking with yourself, oh, okay, so did anything shifted with my audience from my perspective? Like, would I want to connect to different people? Would I want to broaden my niche? Would I want to maybe specifically create a program for a specific niche? Or would I want to work with new types of people because I feel like I can help this audience right now? So just be open to that change, be open to that shift, because it will save you so much headache and so much resistance that we usually have when changes do. It will create much more flow in your life. And the third thing, what I want you to remember, which again I touched on, is this takes time. Finding a niche and getting comfortable with a niche and testing out a niche and connecting with a niche and building an audience, that takes time. So, contrary to popular belief, or what I feel like the marketing industry is trying to make us believe, that oh, you have to sit down, you have to have like a few brainstorming sessions, and then you have to have like a full blown persona and niche and avatar and everything, and then you should know like what people need and what they want, and then you have to stick with. No, it doesn't work like that. It is a continuous testing, trying, failing, testing, failing, testing, failing, connecting, failing, then connecting more, building trust. That's the process. It takes time. This takes time. Having an audience is basically building client relationships, is basically the exact same process as building a friendship. Not to the T, but I want to say like 95% the same. It's building a relationship, it's building trust, it's getting to know the other people, other person, they getting to know you. It's not something that you do in a 2-day brainstorming workshop and then be done with it. You can do a lot in a 2-day brainstorming workshop, like getting to start to get a picture, but again, what I said, it is a living, breathing thing. You constantly add to it, you subtract from it. It is shifting, it is changing, it is evolving. And again, that takes time. So the first time, like my first time when I really like had a niche, when I like fully, oh, okay, so this is my niche now, was it took me, I think, more than 6 months. It took me more than 6 months to get to a place of like, oh, okay, I really am helping people with finding their purpose. Oh, okay, let's see. And I it wasn't like, oh yes, this is my niche. It was like, okay, I love talking about this. I am super excited to teach people. I didn't even have any expectations, to be honest, how that will work out. And people loved it, like loved it. Like my first podcast episode went viral in Hungary, in YouTube, without doing anything with it, just like posting it out of a joke, basically. So it is, and it's still like, I wouldn't even consider that my niche. Is just like my main topic that I talk about, but I have so many other topics that I am connecting to it continuously, because I see that just like finding purpose has so many different layers. Just as like with now, how I help in English is, okay, how we can build a soul pool business, how we can build a business from the soul pool. That is my niche. That is how I help people. That is what I help people achieve. And yes, in this business, I am pulled to work with women. But that's a choice. That's just something I intuitively know, that I want to work with women with this business right now. Right now, in this phase of my life, I am more pulled to work with women. But who knows, maybe a year from now or 2 years from now, I will want to work with men. And again, even if like a man book the session with me, I wouldn't tell them no. I would see like, okay, let's see if we are a fit or not. But who I am pulled, the same thing, talk to is right now is women. And I don't really overthink it that way. And I also know that my niche is shifting, how I am shifting, how I am learning new things about myself, how I am learning new things about the soul pool, the business, the energetics of the business, and everything that I am learning in the background. Yes, let's call it the background, behind the scenes. I am learning and developing behind the scenes. It will shift how and who I help, because when I started this, when I a year before, when I first started this, but then I was like pulled to do the Hungarian one, Hungarian business. I wanted to focus on people who are starting out the business, because I don't know, I just felt like, again, like it wasn't really coming from intuition. It was coming from this feeling of, yeah, you have to be super specific. But then it shifted. I think this summer was when I was like, and I had a friend who also helped me with that. But I realized like I don't really want to limit myself to people who are just starting out the business. Yes, I'm happy to help people who are still in their jobs and want to start the business, but I also can help people who are already in the business and they are not feeling good in the business. They are not feeling comfortable in the business. They are not feeling fulfilled by the business. It is not fun for them. It is not as successful as they want it to be. It doesn't feel as free. Like, I have so much experience with that, and how I created my business to not feel like that and feel like free and fun and successful and all these things. So I can really help people with that. And niching down to be just more specific, because everyone else told that be more specific, would actually be limiting myself. It would be limiting my impact. So there's just a lot of things that you can consider here. I want to say getting help from an intuitive is always super good. Like, my friend is also an intuitive, so it was super good that she was able to help me, just like seeing what I wasn't able to see for myself. Because again, we are emotional, we are attached. It's much harder to see ourselves clearly. So it's super valuable to get someone who has a trained intuition, to get advice from and get like pointers from in which direction to go. So that's something that you would, if you would love, you can actually book a free clarity call with me, who I am also a trained intuitive and also a business coach and also a soul purpose coach. So we can see like, okay, who can be the people who you can serve the most, or what is blocking you right now, why you don't see it, if you are maybe limiting yourself, if it is not quite the niche that you are working with right now is not quite the niche that you should be working with. Like, there's just so many different ways that we can go into. But basically in this free session, we can just like talk about, okay, who can be the people that you serve the best, and what can be the first step to get to those people. Super exciting. And yeah, I want you to feel like that finding a niche is not a life or death situation, because it's not. Like, you can still create a business and support yourself without having like a super specific, clear, like, I don't know, perfect niche that everyone kind of implies that you should have. It's more like a process of fine-tuning how and who you are helping the best, which again will shift as you change, as you evolve. It will shift. But I promise you one thing: you have the audience. You have the audience. If you have the heart pull to have the business, that means that your soul wants to create the business. And if your soul wants to create the business, I am promising you that you have people who are wanting exactly what you can offer, and who are dying to work with you, who are dying for you to get into that frequency, to get into that emotional and physical state with the business, where you can help them, where you can where they can connect with you, if they cannot do that yet because maybe you have like some emotional imbalances that is blocking you. But I promise you that you have a niche, you have an audience. I don't even like the word niche. You have the audience, you have the people who can wait to work with you, even if they don't know it yet. They have that, like it's already in the contract. Everything is like beautifully set out and laid out. The thing is only the timing, and you can get there on your own. Everyone can get there on their own, but it usually takes so much longer than if you can have the help of others. That's why we are here for each other, to amplify each other's growth. That's why I'm here. So uh, it is coming. It you have the people who can grow with you the best. I really want to ingrain this into you. Uh, the only thing is maybe you are not seeing that yet because of all the things that I told you. You have misconceptions about niches, you have emotional imbalances about niches, you have emotional imbalances about your business. That's great, that's cool. You can shift those, you can change those, you can let those go, and then you can connect with your audience, and then you can build the business and have the impact that you want. So, have a beautiful rest of the year. It's depending on when you're watching, it's either already New Year's or it's almost the New Year. So again, Happy New Year, and I see you in the next episode. Bye.